All right, so we're going to go over what sets these two people apart, okay? And it's not their looks, okay? That's the biggest thing that people will get wrong because this person can be on their way to becoming this person, right? So your looks don't identify who you are, it's deeper than that. It's your habits, okay? So what really sets them apart, right? So and this is what occurs as a result of sticking to these habits for a long period of time. This is what results when you stick to these habits for a long period of time. Okay. So, first, let's go over the weak habits, no structure. So, I was in this position myself when I was younger, but to be fair, I don't think that you're fully in control of your life until you either graduate high school or move out of your house or something. You don't know what it's like to be on your own, make your own food, so all of that stuff. So first things first is most people don't have an eating structure. Okay, most people don't track their calories by default. I never did. I only started tracking my calories maybe like a year ago. Okay, and I saw a lot more results when I started doing this. So, and most of the time it's untracked and unplanned. So you just kind of go throughout the day, eat whatever you can find, kind of go step by step. And that way you're not going to see any results, necessarily at all. So another result of this is no activity, right? Little to no activity. You don't have structured activity. Some people don't want that. Okay, so if that's not what you want, then you don't have to be watching this. But if you want to look like this guy, you have to be active, right? And you can't just be active, but you have to be active with purpose. And each activity, whatever you're weightlifting, you're running, you're biking, whatever you're doing has to have purpose and a goal, right? So probably one of the biggest things that keeps someone trapped in this side is the self-sabotaging mindset. It's hard to get out of this. It's very hard, because you have a lifestyle that's ingrained and that you're doing every day, and in order to get to this, you have to flip around everything that you know and start fresh. And it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And that's one of the biggest things that people will see. They will, maybe be like, I want to make a change and I'm going to start. And maybe a week in, 2 weeks in, usually it's less than a week after the first day, you're like, holy shit, like this is completely restructuring my entire life. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I want this. But the truth is, no one is ready for anything. Okay, that is the truth. No one is ready for anything. And you just have to do it. You just have to implement the change, because the longer you wait, the more comfortable you're going to get with your current habits, and the less comfortable you are going to get making new ones that are better for you, right? So, you just stay there. You're like, I don't know where to start or how to even start making a change. It's too hard. It's not sustainable, whatever. All right. You stay stuck. And that way, you're never going to take action. You're going to stay stagnant. So, moving on to this side, what you need to change. Okay. And this is a big part of what I structure for you in my training plan. So, based on your height, weight, your goal, you need structured eating, right? You need to figure out a structure that is going to get you to your goals. Say you want to lose 10 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever it is, you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, right? You need to actually calculate what to eat on a daily basis to achieve that over X amount of time. My training plans are from 3 to 6 months, usually. I have different plans according to different people. If you want more or less, sometimes I work it out, but usually I stick to that range because that is the proven amount of time to make a change, right? So, structured eating. You have a calorie goal to meet every day. You have macros. I need to hit this many fats, this many carbs, this many proteins, right? Um, and then that's something I'll calculate for you. Makes it really easy. And consistent and effective activity. Okay, you don't want to be going to the gym just tossing around a couple weights, be like, okay, that felt good, I worked out, right? You can't check the box. You need to stop checking the box and start putting in real work. Okay, so this part is effective is very important here. And consistency, obviously, super important. You're not going to make gains in one night. You have to stick to this for months. I've been at this for 5 years and I've seen crazy progress. But again, it's not easy to get started, but it's easy once you get the ball rolling, right? And you have to have a growth mindset. You can always improve yourself. Okay, this is one thing that I implement into my life, and recently it's become very, very prominent because you really can. You think you can, you know, sometimes you think you might be doing okay, but you could always be doing more, right? And there's it gets to a point where you don't want to be doing too much, but you should always have a positive forward mindset to improve and achieve more than you are now, because you can. And then, taking action. That is the last part. You have to take action. Do something today. You don't say tomorrow, because this is the thing that happens to me and to a lot of people. In the past, I would be like, oh man, I really want to change this habit. And then I need to start eating healthier. And, you don't start today. You don't go to the store. You're like, okay, well, I don't have food. Like, I'm going to go tomorrow. And then you wake up, and the next day you don't have any more motivation than you did the day before. So the second you think of something, you need to take action, write it down, do something about it, because the longer you wait, the more likely you're not going to take action at all. So that being said, um, if you want to go from here to here, then you need to change all of these things. Right. So if that's something you need help with, shoot me a DM on Instagram, Kaminsky Lifts. That's the best place to do it. Send me a very clear message, hey, I was interested in your coaching. I want to learn more, and we can get to talking. I get a lot of spam on there. So just please, please, please make it very clear. Don't just say hey, don't just say hi. Just say something, and then, we could get to talking. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video if you made it to this point, and that I want to tell you, you can do anything that you want. You can make any improvement in your life that you want. You just have to take that first step. Okay. And taking that first step is the hardest part, but it's also the most effective part. It'll mark the start of your journey, that first step, and the rest of the steps will be set in stone. You need to be committed. But in 2 years, think about yourself now and who you want to be in 2 years. Think of that person and visualize it. Okay, visualization is important. Visualize it, keep your eye on the prize, work towards it. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and see you later.